Hello, hello, talofalava everyone. Welcome in. Welcome to our Buck Full Moon in Capricorn ceremony. My name
Hello,
is Honalei,
and I'm True.
and we are very honored and excited to have you guys with us tonight.
Yes,
As we
yes.
mentioned, tonight we are gathering under what is known as the Buck Moon, and we've got such a special ceremony to share with you guys. We're going to be diving into the energies of the Great Caladrius, what it means to show discernment when healing, how to work with feathers, and then how this all ties into the energies of Capricorn. A little bit of information about the buck moon. The full moon in July is what we are calling the buck moon, and it's named as such because around this time, male deer, known as bucks, they would start to grow their new antlers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, symbolically, what this represents, also energetically, this is considered a time for growth, renewal, regeneration. And with it being in the sign of Capricorn, other themes you will be seeing could be about doing the work, discipline, responsibilities, but also setting goals, achieving, and then evolving. And so
Yeah, absolutely.
I know some of the things that when I do my divination, things that I've been diving into, I've noticed that I am setting better health goals
Nice.
around this time. So I thought that was really cool and interesting to tie in with tonight's full moon.
Oh, good. Yeah. I'm setting more intellectual goals. I
Mm.
think there's plenty of new information I'd like to absorb and books I'd like to read, and I've actually been diving into a lot of history. Yeah. So I'm really excited that we get to talk about some mythology and share about the Calidres.
Yes, that is super exciting. Um,
Should I share a little bit about the Calidres?
yeah, if you'd love to.
Okay, cool. So, for those who don't know, the Caladris is a mythical white bird that can diagnose and cure illnesses. I know, wild. I wish we had one.
Yeah, I wish
Can we summon the Caladris?
I wouldn't be so congested right now. That'd be
Right?
beautiful.
We both actually, could have used this bird this week. We've been a
Yes.
little under the weather, but now we're flying high and we're rising above it all. So it was believed that if it looked into the face of a person who was sick or unwell, that it would absorb the illness and then fly away, carrying the disease with it. But the thing is, if it turned away from the person, it actually indicated that the person was beyond saving. So it would either leave you healed or be like,
Leave you hanging.
leave you hanging.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wonder if they if there was a way like we put out cookies for Santa to like entice him to
To
leave
entice,
gifts,
like,
right?
please.
Like, there's something you could do.
Is there anything?
Anyway, the Calidris symbolizes hope and the potential for miraculous healing. And Capricorn is always up for the task, ready to root in all that is possible, and we'll work with these tools to harness our vitality and our abilities to reflect that healing and life force into the world, and hopefully with each other.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I remember when I was reading into the Caladrius a little bit more, that's what stuck out to me is that it would decide or discern
Yeah.
who would be healed and who would not be healed. And that reminds me very much of like discerning in yourself what needs to be healed, how much of it should be healed, and then kind of going from there.
There's layers to everything,
Yeah.
too, you know? Like, you might think, oh, I worked through this, and then it pops back up, and you're like, I thought I already healed this part of myself or this aspect of my thinking, and then there's another layer that arises to reveal itself to you of like, nope, there's a little bit more. There's, another aspect or perception for you to look at something a certain way, and there's always more to do. Our healing journey is never over.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
and
the beauty of it all, you know?
I also hear that like healing's not linear either. Like
No,
just
it's
how
not.
you all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And then just to kind of recap, if you guys opted in for our kit, I'm gonna cover what we've got going here. It's honestly one of my favorite kits that we've launched.
What was the spell in Harry Potter?
Wingardium
Yes,
Leviosa.
that's what
Yeah.
I feel. Is that Potter, right?
Again, recapping here, just we have the white ostrich feather. You should have also received a Palo Santo to help craft your wand or to burn if you decide to do so. We also have gold paint, swish and flick, yes. Paintbrush for adorning, and then we have our gaze perfume and candle. Some of the notes that you'll be finding in this one, we've got wisteria, lilac, apple, and honey. It's a very crisp scent.
You distracted me from my wand feather work.
Perhaps that was the goal. We also have our rhodochrosite and rose quartz beads for
So
adorning.
beautiful.
I love these barrel beads.
I
This is like one of my
love
favorite
those.
style of beads.
And they're smooth.
Yeah. And then we have your Super 7 healing runes. This is really cool. These are actually custom made here for SG. And they all come with cards to explain and the meaning behind it, the divination meaning or oracle meaning behind each rune as well. And then finally we have our cords. You should have received 2 to help wrap everything together. And then of course the gorgeous Caladrius oracle card.
Very cool.
And I am always obsessed with the artwork that we have here at SG. It's like our graphic designers are
On point. With
always,
everything.
always. Like I know
So
I work with
amazing.
Bruce kind of one-on-one and I'll spitfire a few words to him, but somehow he's able to capture that.
Yeah. And go above and beyond.
But yeah, exactly, above and beyond with that.
I really see it with the crystal grids.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really beautiful.
So before we get our ceremony
look how
going, because we have Palo Santo included in our kit, I also grabbed an extra one here to help kind of clear the energy. But Palo Santo is also really great too for inviting joy, positivity into the space. I like to use it sometimes after using something like rosemary, cedar, or sage. When those are little heavy hitters to
Yeah.
help clear the space, and this one kind of helps reset and create something more positive.
I hope I use it after I pray or after I have a nice yoga class just to hold the energy that we cultivated. And I think that it really it holds that joy. Like we were just laughing our butts off before we started this. So I'm glad that you're sliding this now. See, it holds the joy. Anyway, are we going to use the runes? I would like to pull one actually before we start.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let me go ahead and hand these to you.
Okay, so let's just have a reading for the energy here and see which ones are turned over for us. Okay, so we have 1, 2. Isn't that amazing how certain ones aren't turned and certain ones are? That always is so magical to me.
These 2 are funny.
Oh, are they?
If you look at my ear.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Stop it! That's so cool. Okay, here.
Yep.
Why don't we show them over there? And please. So rad. Don't forget the chocolate.
Yay!
So let's see. Which ones do we have? Yin Yang. We have the chocolate. We have... Which others?
We have the 3 feathers,
The 3 feathers.
the Ankh, the eye,
The Ankh. The eye.
and this guy.
The Eye of Horus, the 3 feathers, and I believe that
Number
is the
4?
is that the Dharma wheel? That one's kind of trippy. we got a magic extra one. Okay. Check yours. Maybe mine just didn't have it. Oh, there it is. Nope. No, it's not the Dharma wheel. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Well, I don't know what to say about that. Maybe it's the medicine.
Oh.
Maybe it's the medicine wheel. It looks similar, right? Yeah, it has the wings
Yeah.
and the center cross. Yeah, so it's the medicine wheel. We found it. All right, so these are the ones that we pulled. First, we have the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel encourages you to seek harmony within yourself and with the world around you, acknowledging the importance of every direction and element in your life. Honor your journey, recognizing the lessons and growth at each stage. And it also says, draw strength from your roots and connect with the wisdom of your ancestors.
I really love that one. Like ancestral veneration is kind of like a really big thing for me in my practice, and
Yeah.
finding my roots, learning more about them, and learning more about my ancestors. Next up.
3 eagle feathers. The 3 eagle feathers signify wisdom, courage, and connection to the divine. Honor the wisdom of your ancestors and guidance of your spirit allies. It's time to soar to new heights, see beyond the limitations of the physical world, and align with your true purpose and potential, for you are never alone. And then we have the Eye of Horus. Not only on this rune, but I don't know if you can't see from here, but Hanalei is wearing the Eye of Horus earrings in a heart, by the way. Super beautiful, along with the Ankh. So, wow. You are anointed. I have mad respect. So the Eye of Horus assures you of protection and guidance and signifies the reclaiming of lost strength and balance. Embrace this moment as a time to open your inner vision, shield yourself from harm, and align with higher truths. Trust your intuition and look within for wisdom and clarity. I appreciate that it says look within for wisdom and clarity, because I feel like a lot of the time we're seeking external validation and reaching for something outside of ourselves, when all of the wisdom and all the answers are in the records that we keep in our bodies.
Yeah.
Or have the wisdom. Next we have the Ankh, which represents the key to unlocking the mysteries of existence and the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. This rune highlights the interconnectedness of all things and the eternal nature of the soul. It reminds us of the gift of life and the importance of living it fully and authentically.
I love the Ankh.
Yin-yang. The yin-yang symbol signifies balance, duality, and harmonious interplay of opposites. Now is a time to seek equilibrium in your life, acknowledging that both positive and negative experiences are essential for growth and harmony. Embrace change and fluidity, knowing life is a dynamic process where opposites coexist and support each other.
I appreciate the mention of good and bad experiences, and I always tell folks to be able to confront both.
Yeah.
You know, be accepting of both. Not everything's going to be love and light.
Well, you have to experience one for the other, you know? Like, and that's just life. You can't appreciate one without the other either. How would you know that, you know, someone treats you well in a relationship if you hadn't been mistreated before? You wouldn't have that sense of appreciation of how well someone can treat you or go out of your way for you. And you have so much more, you know, consideration in return for those actions. Yeah. And lastly, my favorite. I love everything to do with energy work. That's my forte, my realm, my world. So we have Chokurei. Chokurei encourages you to trust in universal life force energy and to use it for the highest good. You are being called to tap into your inner power and direct it toward healing and transformation. It highlights the importance of intention and mindfulness, reminding you of your innate ability to access and channel healing energy. So Chokurei essentially means all divine energy, like, and direct it here.
Oh.
So you use your finger and you call it, and you channel that energy. It's like an activating.
I love that you decided to pull the runes, because something I was going to suggest before crafting your feather wand, before crafting what it is you create here in ceremony, is using the runes to divine and figure out, like, so what is the purpose of this
Yeah,
wand?
to help you set your intention and see what energy comes forth. I mean, we got quite a few for all of us here, which is great. So I'm glad we did that.
I'm just gonna light this up and
These are
let's go
so
ahead.
beautiful too. My goodness.
Yeah, it's Super 7 at that. Like,
Wow. And they all look different.
mm.
They're all different. It's so gorgeous. Ooh, definitely gonna need these.
So, before we start ceremony, I'd like to cast our circle, open up the space, and call in our guides, guardians, the elements. And we look to the east and call in the guides, the element of air, those who breathe life into us. We ask that you take us up on your wings, allow us flight into the winds of transformation. We look to the south, the element of fire. We ask that we invite you into our circle and spark in us creativity and allow us to ebb and flow, move with the fire of creativity, and surrender to what I want to call the creative genius.
Yes.
It's a very sacral center for me, or sacral energy here in the fires. And then to the west, the element of water, we invite you in. Ask that you, during this full moon, allow us to release and surrender with the waves to the elements of the north, the guardians of the north, to the earth. We ask for your stability, for your structure, and I'd like to invite some discipline into this circle. This is the home of Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign, and so I'd like to lean in on those energies. We also call up to our angels above, ancestors below, and to the element of spirit within, without, and around us. We ask that you just permeate the space here with us, connecting all the elements and bringing them all together in harmony. I think that's my favorite elements or spirit to call in, or guide to call in, is spirit.
Yes. Wow. I had really beautiful visions, and I had when you finished up, I just felt like this swirl of energy just surround us and like just uplift us. It's really beautiful. Like,
That's what I feel when I'm
yeah.
calling in the different elements. You know, I say surrender, ebb, flow, and these words, I feel they work with all of them.
Yes.
Even earth. Earth, you might be wondering, how does earth flow? If you heard of quicksand.
Yeah, and think of how, ooh, think of how the crystals are made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so circle's been cast, the guides are here with us, and we've got such a special ceremony with you guys, and a large portion of it's going to be crafting a feather wand with you all. So,
I can't wait for that.
yes. You actually had a few interesting points about feathers, their symbolisms, and their meaning.
Yes, would you like me to share?
Of course.
Okay, so these are so special. Oh, they've been used for so many years for so many different things. And I feel like everything has an essence of life and spirit to it. And especially when it comes from a living being or a living thing, like a feather or a tortoise shell or an antler, you know? It carries with it that life that carried it through this earth during its time. And I think that it's always imbued and imprinted with that energy and that protection and that energy of that animal. So there's different feathers that have different meanings, obviously. The ostrich is for protection and safety. Raven feathers. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I never found out. Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Are you ready for this? They both deliver a flat note. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, I was never going to get that riddle. Anyway, thank you,
Spent
Alice in Wonderland.
all these years wondering.
Right? Anyway, ravens, magic, mystery, the void, the messengers, death, rebirth, and just overall the unknown, and peacocks, as we love here at Sage Goddess. They fan the flames of creativity and encourage us to express ourselves in full and vibrant color. Yeah, and ducks.
Ducks?
Ducks do have feathers, of course, yes. Which represent adaptability, harmony, connection, and growth. And feathers just overall are symbolic of ascension and elevation to higher planes of awareness, and they're associated with the element of air and represent the connection to the spiritual realm and divinity. So we use them a lot in our work. And they're nice on a hat or headpiece.
I was actually going to mention in a lot of Polynesian culture, in Samoa and Tonga, and also in Aotearoa or New Zealand, you'll see feathers being used often to adorn either in the headpieces. In Tonga, they have like usually 1 to 3 different feathers in their hair. I know in Samoa we have these, we call it, well, in English it's known as a feather belt. And so we'll use that when we're doing Samoa Siva. And then we also have a little hair clip.
What's Samoa Siva?
So Samoan Siva in our language means to dance. Yes. And so dancing and movement's really big for me. I mentioned earlier I'm all about ancestral veneration, and that's actually one of the offerings I give to my ancestors. It's great. I get to sing and dance to them, and like just feel, which would be happy.
Yes.
And show them like I'm very thankful. There's this saying that my dad always reminds me of, is that our ancestors prayed over us. They prayed over us generations into the future without knowing our names. And so to honor them, to venerate them, that's my offering.
So beautiful.
And then in Aotearoa, or in the Maori culture, New Zealand, I have to use English words, they have what is known as a korowai. And this is usually or typically bestowed on someone of prestige and honor.
Beautiful.
So that's my association with feathers.
Different feathers are given as earnings and representations of different things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They can also be used to tantalize.
But yeah, so I am super stoked to start crafting with you guys.
Should we talk about the astrology while we craft?
Yes, because this is such an interesting time, guys. So if you follow what the planets are doing, what the stars are doing like I do, I'm not going to be touting that I'm the greatest astrologer out there, but I do get curious. I always wonder, why do I feel the way that I feel, and half the time the planet and what it's doing will tell me why.
Exactly. Like, okay, that resonates a little too deeply not to be accurate.
Before I get into it, your kit again does come with 2 these suede cords. I cut mine in half so that I have 4 pieces because I like to work with as many pieces as possible.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do here, so I have to be a little more serious sometimes. So this full moon in Capricorn is reminding me to be a little more serious.
Okay, you know that laughter is my medicine, so.
But when people ask me, like, Hanalei, how did you do that? And I just look at them and go, I prayed about it.
Yes.
That is a half joke, because half the time I am just praying about it. I wing a lot of things.
I call it fairy winging it.
Pun intended with the wings.
Yeah. Ooh, fairy wings with feathers. Never really imagined that. It'd be pretty. Angel
Okay,
wings
for
have feathers.
some odd reason, I thought of like the antenna of moths.
Yes.
When you said, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Beautiful. Yeah, you usually think feathers as angel wings, and you think like butterfly wings as fairy wings, right?
Yeah.
Usually. It makes sense.
Yeah, so astrologically, guys,
Heaven,
what is happening?
nature.
What's going on here? As many of you may know, we've got some 2 heavy hitters.
Please explain to me
What I'm doing?
What we're doing?
Okay. Yeah, so what
Sorry,
I'm doing,
I'll do it too.
to each their own, is what
Okay.
I'm going to say. I'm going to be crafting something of a feather wand today using our Palo Santo, which the literal translation for this is going to be holy wood. This is why it's used in a lot of shamanic rituals or practices. And what I'm doing is tying just the bottom half here with the soy cord. Of course, I broke mine down into fours. I cut it,
Okay.
but you can wrap and secure it whichever way calls best to you.
Okay. That's what I'll do.
Yeah. So right now we have Saturn and Neptune in retrograde.
Both.
Both.
In
Both.
Pisces.
In Pisces, yes. That's the interesting part for me.
Pisces, by the way, just to share, I have Capricorn rising, and Pisces is my moon. So,
Oh,
hey.
how are you feeling?
Thank you for asking.
How you doing, bud?
It's been real.
It's been real.
I'm really impressed by my ability to get shit done in the heat of it all, honestly.
I want to say,
And it's Cancer season.
oh, and it's Cancer season, yeah.
I've only cried twice.
I've yet to cry. Maybe tonight I'll do that. And you know, crying is a great exercise.
It's cleansing.
It's super cleansing.
Yeah,
It's-
I don't think of crying as like a weak thing. I
Yeah.
think of it as a resetting and cleansing activity, actually. Sometimes when I cry, I'm not even sad. I just feel the energy needing to be expressed through me, and I allow it to flow. And I sometimes feel like I'm clearing it for my generations. Excuse me. Also, coughing is a form of clearing.
Yeah. And so I love that you mentioned that they're both in Pisces. As we know, Pisces is like all about dreams, illusions, the visionary. It's how do you say?
Very ethereal.
Yes, yes. I joke that as an Aquarius, I'm a space cadet. Y'all have it. If y'all don't have Pisces friends, you'll know their heads are. Whew.
They're very emotional and what is that word? Hang on, it'll come to me.
Just
Like what wants to come through is assured or convinced or like what is that? Passionate. When they believe something, they believe it and they feel it and they empathize with it and they can convey it in such a way that is like really mind-blowing. Excuse me.
So this is where I'm at so far. It's not the prettiest. Don't worry. Trust the process. It will get prettier.
So, Saturn retrograde in Pisces, first of all, the planetary ruler of Capricorn, is the planet of discipline, responsibility, restrictions, challenges, and when in Pisces, it may bring up issues related to boundaries, spirituality, and emotions, of course. This can be a time to reassess emotional boundaries. And I always say, you know, when in the face of adversity, meet it with humor. And how you deal with your subconscious fears and limitations, you know, and maybe that's something of how I deal with things is through humor. Maybe, you know, inappropriately I laugh. And people are like, why are you laughing? How dare
No,
you?
yeah, that's-
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I
don't know how to process this. Please,
I
this
don't know how
is
to
it.
process it, so I guess I'm going to laugh.
I'm gonna laugh it out, please. Let
Yeah.
me have my moment. So what I'm doing here, and I don't mean to cut you off, but just kind of show everyone
need
I'm
help.
braiding. Okay,
I need help.
we're gonna do the help. So what are we looking to achieve here?
Will you hold it while I tie it?
Yes,
Please. Thanks.
teamwork makes the dream work. I like that you mentioned Saturn and Pisces because actually right now I'm going through what is known as a Saturn return.
Me too.
So okay.
That's because we're similar in age.
Yeah.
So our Saturn
I forget
return,
that.
girl,
Oh,
yes!
It's doing the thing.
It's doing the thing.
You know, with that being said, I wanted to ask, like, how did it feel when you were around, I don't know, like 20 something, 27, right?
27, yeah.
Usually is when that kind of kick starts. And what was it like in the
Yeah.
beginning for you?
Oh, everything shifted, and everything that I thought life was going one way, and then all of a sudden it flipped upside down, shook, and made sure nothing was left. And it's like, no, okay, complete reset. How you were doing things is not going to work anymore, and you're gonna have to figure it all out again. So try something else, because if you did what you have been doing, you'll get what you've been getting. But actually, yeah, every aspect of my life fell apart in a way.
Did you feel like it was tower moments?
Beyond, like,
That
not just the tower, but also like the match burned it down, gone, done.
ashes.
Yeah, and I had to completely restart, and it was a very independent journey, actually. Like, it yeah, it reminded me of who the guy was. So I'm grateful. So far, so good.
I know with mine, moving, I've always, if I look at my chart too, it makes a lot of sense. The home was
Yeah,
always kind of a
me too.
huge issue for me, and so I've moved place to place. I think I moved about 4 times
I did too.
since.
I did fucking too. Yes, I call it the age of stepping into sovereignty. Sorry, I got a little aggressive there. That's how I've had to be, though.
4 times too?
4 times.
4 times.
Yes, even
Oh my
across the
gosh.
country. Wild, wild times. Am I doing this correctly?
It
That's fine.
does it feel like you're doing this
I
correctly?
want, yes, it does. And
Okay.
I want also it to hang a little bit, and then I'm going to add my beads to where it hangs.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I did appreciate how you mentioned. Let me come back to my little girl.
Look how nice. Pretty. And then I'm going to hang the beads down here and tie them. That's just what I'm doing. How about you?
I think I'm gonna just have mine super dangly.
What
But
was, aside from moving, what has been like the biggest challenge that you've had to overcome again and again and again and again and again?
So there are 2 other areas of my life I noticed that needed a lot of tender love and care, and that would be my relationships with my family, for one. I mean, because for me, the home was a huge thing, right? And in Samoan culture, it's not uncommon for us to be very close with our family, have very close familial bonds.
I was just watching Moana last night.
Very similar to Moana, yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they all live in the village?
So really beautiful.
Having to repair anything with those relationships with my village, and a lot of it, I want to talk about Neptune being retrograde as well, because this is Pisces planetary ruler, with it being the sign of Pisces. Again, this is all about illusions and things like that, right?
Yep.
You can see it's the planet of dreams, creativity, again, illusions. And when it's in retrograde, this can intensify the spiritual experiences. That's something I've also noticed outside of the familial bonds that I have, is my own relationship with my spiritual practice. It's had to evolve. I've had to evolve.
Yep.
I've had to kill my ego in a sense, rebuild myself, and then what I thought was true, what I thought was my foundation at the time, it turns out that that was BS, is probably, for lack of better word, for me.
Yeah, it's also like I've noticed if a lot of the relationship stuff, it's like if, okay, I'm obviously evolving in a huge way, and if you aren't also, then I think it's like, you know, the circle of
Yeah.
life. Like you go apart, and then eventually, hopefully, you come back at a certain point and meet each other. But we have to like grow apart for a moment and shift, and you
And
can't
then-
bring everything with you.
And I noticed that some of my closest friends, I thought we were ride or die. I've had to let them go because it just,
For a moment in time, maybe.
Yeah.
You know? So I braid my hair all the time, and I don't know what is happening, but I've forgotten all of a sudden. It's because there's 4, and I don't know how to
oh,
braid
I can
with
teach you how to
4.
braid with 4. That I like to do. This is not fitting in the way that I need it to. So guys, I'm gonna show on
Yeah,
camera
so-
too. So there's a style of braiding that I like to do when it has 4 strands. What you're gonna do with your 4 here, hopefully the guys, y'all on the camera can see it.
I'm
I
doing
will-
mine really quick so I can follow you.
The middle left,
Middle left.
crossing over the right left. like so.
Middle, left, crossing over the right, left.
Yes. And then, yeah, cross them
Okay.
over.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bring the outside, inside.
Outside, inside. Mm-hmm.
And repeat, middle left, over the right left. And so, spaced out, this is the kind of pattern you're going to be seeing. You can tighten it from here. Then outside. Let me know if you need me to slow down. Oh, you're doing beautifully.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yay.
Outside to the inside.
It's my Capricorn rising, listening to directions. I'm needing to perfect it.
But yeah, if you continue this pattern, you're going to notice a beautiful
Outside,
braid
inside.
being created here. So back to Neptune retrograde in Pisces. What you could probably be seeing, or some themes, it could be bringing about any confusion or illuminating any deceptions, and present you with an opportunity to confront any of those illusions or delusions, which I think kind of ties into what you said with our Saturn return starting and everything being unveiled and broken down.
Yep.
Kind of being shown for what it is. And what I find
Not
really...
what you want it to be.
Not what you want it to be, exactly. What I find really interesting about these energies, we've got dreamy Neptune. Saturn kind of feels stern to me, reminds me, again, Capricorn's ruler.
Wow, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Look. Oh, it doesn't look as
So
pretty.
the combination of Saturn's structured, practical influence with Neptune's dreamy and mystical energy, this can create a tension between reality and illusion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you've noticed or been feeling that since these two decided to do a little backflip in the sky. So this period could be very challenging, and present you with challenges with your responsibilities, but also with your spiritual and creative pursuits and endeavors.
For sure.
So this could be a beautiful time to confront any unrealistic expectations you maybe have, or fears, limitations holding you back.
I was just about to say, it's a time to get real.
A time to get real.
Get real.
And I've been noticing that, in a lot of the things like, oh, I can do this later, I'll be putting this off, like, oh, I'm fine here, this is fine.
No.
A lot of things have been uncovered in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something I wanted to pose towards the beginning of the ceremony is with the full moon, the light of the full moon is such a beautiful time to illuminate certain areas of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to tie into how does this all tie
Absolutely.
in with the Caladrius and the healing and the working with the feather, what have you been lying to yourself about your health, be it physical or mental? What are you kind of dusting or pushing under the rug right now?
Yeah. For me, it was a partner that I was trying to make things work with for too long. Yeah. And just having to admit, what I really want and what's of my highest benefit.
I think what I was trying to go for here was not working, and so we are gonna do this instead.
Having to navigate and shift and pivot. and
Pivots and
and make
pivots.
that okay, and then honestly, like, come out stronger and not feel like, oh, I thought I was gonna die, but I'm actually good. I'm actually really good. I'm happy, and whole. It's like, yeah, it's nothing outside of you can complete you or validate you, and I've been called repeatedly to step into sovereignty and show up and speak up. There's no more hiding. There's no more time to play small or, sweep things under the rug, as you said. Like, that doesn't work anymore.
And I definitely feel like that's being highlighted during this time.
Yeah, and fears. I guess my fear that I've discovered is what happens if I don't choose to grow? What happens if I stay stuck and remain the same? Have you ever been to someone's house? I'm very selective of going into people's homes because I'm so sensitive and I feel everything and I can pick up things and feel stories and all these. It's very overwhelming to me sometimes. So, but have you ever been in someone's home or been around somebody that you knew maybe like 10 years ago and you see them again and there's just like some stagnancy and you're like, oh, not in a judgmental way, but in just like a matter of fact, like this is some part of the world or life or timeline that hasn't like evolved much. Like I feel like I've lived so much and been so many places and lived like so much has happened, and still the guy working at that shop local in your hometown is still doing that routine and still the smell's the same, and and you still have that same experience and it holds that frequency and that energy that it did 10 years ago, and it's kind of like stepping back in time, and then you realize and recognize how much you've grown and how far you've come. Have you ever experienced something like that?
Yeah, with a lot of my previous high school classmates. Again, same job. And there's nothing wrong. I don't want to say there's anything wrong with it. It's just it does highlights the growth that I've experienced and the transformations. And I have a lot of Scorpio placements, and we are all about like death and we are about death and rebirth. And so there's always a consistent death of um, maybe the ego. We could use that there this here, but also of the self in a sense. Like I always say that I have multiple facets to me. I'm always going to be something a little different. Who I was 4 years ago before my Saturn decided to do the thing, is not who I am now.
No. And that's beautiful. I think change should be embraced because that is the only way that we grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be scary, and we could, fear change, especially if you have expectations or whatever. But I think that's where support comes through, and we can like hold space for each other and listen and like just give each other the validation that we need to carry through those moments. It's like, oh, this isn't going how I thought it was, or this isn't like everything's changing. And you just need somebody to be like, it's okay, how does that make you feel? And listen and validate you, and like confirm, like, yeah, and it's gonna be great.
And it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is beautiful.
I was just gonna say it's not going the way I planned it to. It's a little kooky. But I think that's very representative of who I am as a person. I'm very kooky.
Same. Where does this come into play?
So this is the gold paint and the paintbrush. Once you're done adorning with the beads or any point really, what you can do is start painting the feather itself. What I'm probably going to do is get a piece of paper so I'm not ruining this beautiful.
I think I'll paint the beads.
Oh yeah, you can paint the beads, paint the feather, paint the cords. What I wanted to do actually was paint an ankh, so we're going to pray about my painting skills here.
Oh my gosh, I was going to put an ankh on my bead. I was going to pick a few of the runes because they have these beautiful gold emblems on them, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to just choose a few to draw and paint. And of course, out of the ones that are turned over right in front of me, I picked this one. It's just confirmation. I'm doing
confirmation. And I really love painting, color, energy. And then talking about like color magic. Gold is in association with the sun, and so this is like life energy, solar energy, and reminds me of happiness and joy. Any other qualities.
And the light through the darkness, like the light at the end of the tunnel. When I paint or do anything creative, I really like to play music. And I have this root chakra handheld singing bowl right here. So while we paint, do you mind if I just play this for a minute?
I do not mind at all.
Maybe it'll help to inspire.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were talking about the bowl. I love the singing bowls.
I didn't expect you to put the unk on the feather. Like that. I'm impressed. I'm inspired.
I think it's the arc that always gets me with the ankh.
Innovative.
What I really love about symbols and working with runes, in my practice I work with sigils often, and sometimes I'll combine different runes like the Nordic runes, and I'll combine it with sigils that I've created personally, and it's really interesting how you can configure them all together and they all have like one intention. And so quite literally you are writing a sentence worth or an intention's worth into a symbol.
Exactly.
Like that was always fascinating to me.
That's what fascinates me about other languages too. I was learning Japanese, and I always thought, oh, it's gonna be way too complicated for me to understand, but actually, it was so simple.
I wonder if you can see that.
Symbols together.
But this is what I decided to go with. I might be adding things later, once they come to me.
Beautiful. It's really pretty. Right?
But yeah.
May I? Ooh, cleansing the aura with sound and the feather. That could be really nice. I love these ones because they just go.
And go and go.
Yeah, I might need to. Really pretty. Is it carnelian in there?
Looks like, yeah. Yes.
Ooh, so that's a sacral chakra stone for creativity.
Which is perfect for what we were doing tonight.
Exactly. Everything's so divine. So divine. None of it's planned. All this is just very winging it.
Yeah.
Angel
We were winging it.
Oh, I put this on the my brain has been scrambled eggs. Please, please, forgive me. And like intuitively, I know exactly what I'm doing. I do these things all the time, and then one day I'm being recorded, and there's something in here. Maybe it's not like.
We can just set it down for now.
Okay.
I might want to play it later.
These are so pretty. These ones are my favorite.
Yeah, so this is my wand, my fan, my creation.
Yes.
And I may add to it later. This is what happens often whenever I'm crafting something. I think I'm done now, but then something else is illuminated later on down the line, and I go, wait, that would be beautiful to add.
Exactly. I wanted to braid how you did here, and then add the 3 beads along the way.
Yeah. Did you want me to braid for you?
I feel like it's a 2-person job. It's kind of difficult. Do you want me to hold it for you? Hold it.
Yeah.
And
so something I wanted to talk about during creation or after creating your sacred tool, your ceremonial tool, because that's what this is. As a creative, something I like to do is consecrate anything that I plan on incorporating into my practice. There are so many different ways you can do this. One of my favorite is quite literally burying it in the dirt, allowing Mama Gaia to absorb any energies that needs to be absorbed from the piece. If you're worried about getting dirt on it, like I probably wouldn't bury the feather. A bowl of salt.
Cool. Yeah.
Because salt is very purifying. I know we mentioned crying earlier, and that's natural salt water. Oh. And that's, natural salt water from the body. Very cleansing and releasing.
I like that we made these together so we can use them on each other if you'd like.
Yeah.
I don't trust many people, Well, I don't want to say that. I trust people. I love and I trust people. And when it comes to cleansing my energy, reading for me, things like that, I use discernment.
Mm. Which is super important, because you don't want everyone in your field, in your...
Yeah, leaky energy is not discerning.
Yeah, so consecrating. And then once that's been done, once everything's been absorbed and cleared and reset, there are prayers that I've written to the ancestors to help bless any pieces that are about to go. Because if it's for my ancestral altar, then of course I'll pray to the ancestors. If it's for any of the patron deities that I work with, I'll obviously pray to them. But prayer and adding blessing and using the frequency of your voice, I believe, is super important in your practice.
You know what I just thought of when you said that?
But
Attaching this to my drum mallet. Because I made my drum mallet. I've made plenty of them, actually. I love making them. And this is the same kind of work that you do in making a drum mallet. So you could honestly just make this into a drum mallet.
yeah.
Yeah. I know, I'm always thinking about using my voice in my drum. It's one of my favorite ways to clear energy.
Got one more here, and then I'm going to try to...
It can be done too, whatever. It's beautiful.
I think I'm going to knot this here.
Yeah. Cool.
Because we were running out of room on one side.
How's everyone doing? I would love to see what you've created. This has been really nice. I needed some creative time to clear my head. I've been doing so much here at Sage Goddess.
I think I'm going to let this one be a little loose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so praying, blessing, and then dedicating your tools too. So back on the whole patron deity, if you have one you'd like to dedicate them to. I know a few folks who work with Hermes, messenger gods. This would be a beautiful tool to dedicate to them.
Oh, yes. Ooh. It reminds me of this song, Golden wings upon my feet, on clouds I dance. Angels greet you when you sleep, divine romance. Conjure up a thing so sweet and make it last. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I think it's called Golden Wings.
So, we're done. And the next thing I'd love to talk about is how you would use this beautiful tool in your practice. There are quite a few different energy modalities and healing modalities out there. And so many tools, ceremonial tools, sacred tools that you can use that sometimes can be a little difficult to keep up with. Like, how do you work with a feather? You may have seen many of our videos. Well, we'll be moving smoke or energy with it. That's definitely one way. Another way that I would love to show you guys tonight in regards to healing and clearing the aura. Use it on yourself or with another person. Did you want to heal each other?
Sure.
Or here are...
Cleanse. You can use this to cleanse. I love using it for smudging. It just moves the smoke so nicely around the room. To cleanse and clear the space. There's mine. Thank you, Hanalei.
Yeah, mine's still a little
She's so crafty.
wonky.
Beautiful.
So, when healing, we can start with you if you're okay. We always recommend that you ask before doing.
Yes.
So,
Grant permission.
Yes.
It's only polite. And
Are
it
you-
also allows your spirit guides to, be accessed by the other person who is channeling for you. It's a conduit.
So true. Are you okay with me entering your field?
Yes, Hanalei, I'd be delighted. Thank you for asking.
And to each their own when it comes to healing. I'm actually going to give you a bit of direction if you don't mind facing.
Oh, sure.
So I can also show them what I'm doing. And one thing I like to do is have folks kind of have their hands stretched out
Sure.
when healing with the feather. And so feel free to close your eyes. And when working with a feather, cleansing of any sorts, you're going to want to move in sweeping motions, right? What I like to do to recommend is I will start at the top of the head. I always go top down, front, not front, but back to front. And I never sweep back up because remember, I'm moving energy down and out for her. So, something I'll do, if you're comfortable closing your eyes or whatever you feel called to, I will start with going in sweeping motions counterclockwise just to kind of help push out and then lightly in her field and then out through her hands. And what's very important, something I like to tell folks is visualization is very important when doing this work. You
It's effortless for me. I immediately got a vision. Really beautiful.
So, just to explain what's happening here, I'm seeing her energy, and if there's a certain area that I need to stay in, I'll go ahead and sweep that. And so, I feel it's time to move on and out. And then I'll go ahead and go on her other side here. Something I tell folks too, this is my experience as a healer. What I've noticed is that I, as a healer, am not what's necessarily healing you. What I'm doing is fine tuning and aligning the frequencies around your aura and your body to be more open and receptive to the healing that's already there.
Exactly.
If that makes any sense.
I get it. I actually had an emotion come through when you did the last sweep, and it just felt like let go. And I knew exactly what it was that I'm ready to let go of, but I've been kind of dancing around, making excuses for, but, but I hear, I feel, I know.
So the last thing I'm going to do, the final sweep, I'm going to have you go ahead and breathe in deep for me. Hold that in. Think about that emotion you want to let go. And when you're ready, go ahead and exhale for me. And there we are. One thing I do like to recommend too, when you're doing this work of releasing, is not to immediately replace it with something, but I like to burn incense that brings positivity, joy, and just to help center that energy again. And so, with that being said, I will be lighting this Palo Santo.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt something come through.
And so again, when working with feathers, a few inches outside the body, you're going to be working with the auric field. And what could probably help you visualize better what's happening here is the feather is actually picking it up very much like the caladrias. It's picking up these energies, sweeping them away outside of the body. In the same sense the caladrias would pick it up and fly up to the sun to rid of the malady.
Yeah. I think it's the rose quartz also.
Mm-hmm.
It was really just opening my heart and, clearing my heart space. It was really like over my crown, my throat, my heart, just clearing away all that doesn't align with my truth and what I'm speaking, what I'm feeling, and just let it go now. This is very powerful work, especially to do for another. And to do for yourself, I feel like this is a nice moment to have in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
And it's very gentle. I would incorporate this into my skincare routine too.
Oh.
While you're waiting for a mask to dry or something.
Oh,
Right?
that would be, I imagine those feather fans.
Yeah,
just
very gentle. Thank you for that.
yeah.
It's
So
been really
that's
fun.
one way to heal. I hope you guys enjoyed crafting with us and learning how to heal. with a feather, different ways to use this feather wand that you've created. And yeah, if you feel so called to, I would love to see on social media what you guys come
Yeah,
up with for
post
creation.
your feather wands. Also, you can use them on your hands. Like maybe to use it on your hands after giving a healing.
Mm-hmm.
Just sweep away the energy. Would you like me to use yours?
Sure.
Did you use yours on me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll use mine on you. Deep breath, inhale. And just visualize all the energy just flowing from your body into your hands, all that you're ready to cleanse and clear away. And just allow it to flow from your heart to your hands, up and out. And gently, maybe just go over each finger. Nice little swift movements. Flip your hands over, please. And oh, you have such like beautiful hands. You do so much with your hands. We do everything with our hands. Create, make, taste, touch with our hands. I just want to also, as I'm cleansing your hands, I want to honor them for all that they do for all of us and all of the wonderful things that you create here for us at Sage Goddess.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And with that, I would like to close ceremony.
Okay. It's a really beautiful one, by the way.
Thank you.
Did you make it?
I did.
Oh, show it off, please.
It's one of the many things I do with the hands of mine.
Look at this. Oh, what are these crystals?
Rose quartz, and then we have pink Botswana agate.
Wow.
So it's very, very heart-centric here.
It looks like a unicorn clone.
With the selenite, I love it.
It's really pretty. Okay.
As we close circle, we thank the element of spirit for filling this space in this room and for tying everything together and being with us. With gratitude, we release you. To the ancestors below, spirits within, without, and the angel above, with gratitude, we release you. To the north, we look to the earth. We thank you for your stability, for the discipline and the structure you provided us today. With gratitude, we release you. To the element of water in the west, flowing through us as we crafted tonight, as we held space tonight. With gratitude, we release you. To the south, to the fire guardians, we thank you for your presence, and with gratitude, we release you. And finally, to the east, the element of air, breathing life into us, breathing life force into us. With gratitude, we release you. Ashe.
Ashe, thank you. Savagly, no bad days.
So again, I hope you guys enjoyed crafting with us. Just to let y'all know what we've got coming up, I'm really excited for this next full moon kit because it's in the sign of Aquarius, and I'm an Aquarius,
and
so
the feathers represent the earth, the air sign.
everything's
Aquarius.
tying in. I love that. Let me just grab everything here. I'm excited because we are actually going to be doing a purification ritual of sorts. This is the showstopper of our kit, and this is going to be an iron amphorable. This is going to be beautiful for hand cleansings. And then iron is such a very grounding and protective element to work with. And so we'll be going over how to anoint your hands or wash and purify, cleanse your hands and your tools.
And
We
also use it for the water soluble paper.
Yeah.
So you can write your wishes on it, and then just dissolves as you drop it into the water.
Or if there's anything you want to
Together.
release during full moon too, this actually is a really fun tool to work with. I've never really used water soluble paper like this. I know all paper kind of disintegrates in water, but this one, it was super interesting when I was doing the test.
Yeah.
We also have the blue apatite anointing beads. This is going to be great for connecting with your throat chakra. And you can actually anoint them, dip them in the water that you create. And fun, it also clips, I believe. So You can wear it as a bracelet or use it to adorn your bowl.
Beautiful. It looks beautiful. Look how nice that matches too.
And then probably one of my favorite parts is always our candle and perfume duos that we have here.
The
We have
salt
Aqua Pura.
perfume. So pretty.
This is a really refreshing duo.
Mm-hmm.
We have notes of pine, bergamot, pink grapefruit, and lily of the valley. We have a solid perfume this time, which I found really interesting. And it's got a bit of beeswax in there. So it's jojoba, beeswax, and the fragrance. And this is going to be great for, you can apply it to your intention paper to seal any intentions or anything that you're working with. Or you can apply it to yourself.
Mm-hmm. And this stone is aquamarine for
Yes.
emotional depth and intuition.
And then last but not least, of course, we have the Oracle card. These, again, the artwork, guys.
Ugh, my favorite. I love Ganymede.
We'll be diving into
So
Ganymede and the role he played for the gods.
I was with a triple Aquarius, so it was interesting because he's known as like a beautiful Trojan prince. That Zeus is like, he's so beautiful that Zeus like swoops in as an eagle and takes him to be the water bearer for the gods, which is what connects him to Aquarius, the water bearer. And he's just known as this like gorgeous Trojan guy, and so that's just reminds me of my person, my triple Aquarius is a nickname. Anyway,
Love that. And then just a reminder, guys, your discount for today is code BUCK. It's going to be 24% off.
yes,
And we also have a
The
beautiful,
scratchers.
yes, we have these scratchers.
such a fun opportunity.
Yeah.
So with each of these, everyone gets one with their purchase, by the way, and you can get a discount code of or a gift.
Yeah. So everyone's a winner with these.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, if you shop with us before midnight, this is probably one of my favorite giveaways,
Absolute
guys.
favorite. Look how stunning.
Let me see if I can do it any justice.
It's just stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Yes, so we have this beautiful faceted blue topaz and rainbow moonstone bracelet.
Yes.
It's all set in sterling silver. I felt very much correlated with Aquarius and just the blues, and the rainbow moonstone's great for the full moon energy. But yeah.
Perfect.
Again,
And there we have it.
thank you guys again for joining us tonight. I had a lot of fun with you. I hope you enjoyed tonight's ceremony. And again, feel free to share your creation with us. We'd love to see.
Yes. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Peace.